Hello, this is Dennis with A1 Telephone Service and Repair, A1 Electronics. You can reach us on the web at www.a1-telephone.com, and you can also reach us at 618-235-6959. Today I want to show you a really cool automatic electric 3-slot payphone. This is Bill's equipment from Georgia. And so basically this is the initial checkout, and we're going to walk through a little bit of what's going on and what needs to be done. And so Bill said that he wanted to keep the handset cord on this telephone if it's good. So we'll go ahead and troubleshoot the handset cord, make sure that that's good. We want to go through the transmitter, the receiver. We also want to check the hook switch. That's going to have to be adjusted and cleaned, and so we'll take care of that. We also want to go through the wiring. We want to rewire this telephone the way we want it wired to work the way we want it to work. We're also going to install a modular port so that Bill can simply bring in any line cord, any length, and any color. It makes it for a simple, easy plug-and-play connection. Now, if anybody puts money into this 3-slot payphone, what's going to happen is we're going to set up the chute so that it comes down through the chute and into the coin return, because he's not interested in getting into the vault area. There is no key to that, and he's not going to be concerned with that. Now, he also has a screw that holds on the front cover, and he's okay with that. So we're going to leave that the way it was when it came in. We want to go through this wiring block. We need to get that straightened out. It's all loose, and so we'll have to take care of that. Now, on the front cover, we want to go through the rotary. That's sluggish. And we want to clean, oil, and adjust the rotary. We also want to make sure that our coins are falling through in case someone does put some money in it. And we will set it up like we mentioned to go down into the coin return. We also are going to do a still picture of the sign that is in the picture frame here, the informational card. It's kind of unique, so we're going to do a still picture of that. And there's a phone number that's on the rotary. We're going to leave that. We also want to just go through a little bit of everything on the telephone. We want to get a start on it. So we'll take a short break and we'll come back as we move forward in the repair and conversion of this really cool automatic electric 3-slot payphone. So we'll be right back. Okay, we're back now, and we're in the middle of the process of repairing and converting this 3-slot payphone, and we're further into the telephone with troubleshooting. And when I first seen this telephone, it looked like they had replaced the rotary dial in this telephone, and they did. And so what I want to show you is, if you watch the analyzer, this telephone dials out and it's one number off. And from past experience, sometimes that can be repaired and other times it cannot. And so a lot of times you have to just do the most logical thing. And I'll explain that here in a second. So what we want to do is plug the unit in. It seized the analyzer, and I want to dial a 1, but a 2 is going to come up. And the same thing with a 2, it'll be a 3. And I'll dial a 3, it'll come up a 4. I'll dial a 4, and it'll come up a 5. And so on. So I'm going to dial a 6, it'll come up a 7. 8 will be a 9. And then I'm going to dial a 9. It came up 0. I'm going to dial a 0, and that's going to be a star. See, a lot of people don't know that. When you're dialing a rotary telephone, if you could actually get it to pass the 0, the equipment recognized that as a star or a pound. So if I went one further even than the star, it would come up pound. And what we want to do is show you, we can unplug the unit now. I want to show you what they've done to get this rotary into the telephone. Now, what they've done is they've drilled a whole bunch of holes back here. Now, these don't belong here. They're here now. There's nothing we can do about it because this is all a part of the telephone cover. And they've drilled these holes into this telephone, and they've melted the plastic, or they put some kind of epoxy or something in here, and then they pushed the rotary into the housing here, and they beat this part of the housing all up. So now that we don't have a whole lot we can do. If I try to take this rotary out and repair it and get it to dial right, I take the chance of having to try to mount it into the unit again. So we're going to have to make a decision of what's most logical. We're either going to have to remove the rotary and try to repair the dialing issue, or in the past what we've done is we've actually moved up the finger wheel stop. So if you move this stop up, it's going to dial the right number each time. So it's just a matter of what's the most logical way to take care of the problem. And we'll know more about that as we get further into the repair and conversion of this telephone. So it'll either be repair the dial and then try to mount it back into the telephone, because you can see here there is a large crack right here, or where it hasn't sealed up to the front cover of the telephone, and they were unable to get that to seal up properly. Now, it doesn't look bad, but it's actually there, and it shows that they couldn't get the dial all the way up into the telephone like they needed to. And so it's just going to come down to the most logical way to repair the telephone. Since this dial has been on the telephone for a very long time, you can tell that. This was a repair made years ago, or a conversion. In order to try to keep the telephone the way it is, we may have to just move the finger stop up. So we'll decide that as we're moving along in the repair and conversion of this really cool automatic electric 3-slot rotary telephone. So we'll be right back. Okay, we're back now, and we're going to show a little bit about what's going on. Now, we have the finger wheel loose, and we can go ahead and remove that. I'll give you a look at that. That's what the finger wheel looks like. We'll set that to the side. Now we have our number wheel loose, and we have it marked where we want to move up our finger stop. Now I'm going to show you how they have the finger stop connected here. It's like with a silicone, so it's just barely hanging there. We can remove that actually. And so it's kind of like a silicone material that they used. We'll set that to the side. And we're going to go ahead and move that finger stop up on the number wheel. And this is some more of the silicone. Now it's actually a little harder than a silicone, but it's very old. And so that might be the reason why it's pretty hard. Now, instead of taking this rotary out after all the trouble that they went to put it into the unit, and it's been there for years, we're going to move the finger stop up. There's no reason to take that all apart and then try to get it all back into the unit. We're just going to go ahead and move the finger stop up. So we'll get a start on that. We're going to mount the finger stop this time, and it won't be with silicone. We can mount it to our finger wheel, number plate, and they have a couple of holes in it, so we'll go ahead and mount some surface mount screws into this number plate, and that should take care of that. So we'll take a short break and we'll come back as we move forward in the repair and conversion of this really cool automatic electric 3-slot payphone. So we'll be right back. Okay, we're back now, and we are finished up with the repair and conversion of this automatic electric 3-slot payphone, and we want to start our final checkout. Now I also want to mention our amplified pickup. We use this in troubleshooting, repairing, and on our final checkout. It's amplified so that you can hear the audio from a receiver on our final checkouts. So now what we want to do is also go through a little bit about what went on with the telephone. Now earlier in the video we showed the issues that were with the dial and the rotary, and we moved our finger wheel up. We also filled the hole that the finger wheel originally where it was located, so we covered that up. We went through the transmit, the receive. We made sure that our handset cord was in good condition. We also went through the coin validator, and we set the unit up so that the money would run through the coin validator and end up in the coin return. Bill was not interested in having the change go into the vault area, so we have the change going into the coin return. We also rewired this telephone the way we wanted it wired to work the way we want it to work. We installed a modular line port in the center of the back of the telephone, and Bill can simply bring in any line cord, any length, any color, and plug right into the modular port. Makes for a simple, easy plug-and-play connection, and we'll do a still picture of that. We also installed a bell and a bell circuit. So basically we went through the entire telephone, and what we want to do now is we want to go ahead and run some change through the telephone. We want to start with a quarter, and that's going to gong one time, and that ended up in the coin return. We want to use a dime. A dime is going to ring the bell twice. We want to use a nickel. That'll ring the bell once. We'll do another quarter. Another dime. One last nickel. That's down here in our coin return. And now Bill's getting rich with bubblegum money. So now what we can do is we can go ahead and ring the unit. So we'll use the analyzer and we'll ring the telephone. We'll let that go a few times. Let it go one more time and we'll give you some dial tone. Turn on our amplifier. Dial tone. Turn off our amplifier. We're going to dial our numbers, so if you watch the analyzer, you'll watch the numbers roll by. I'm going to end in a 2. Now I want to transmit into the handset. If you watch that red light on the analyzer, every time you see that red light light up, That's an indication of 100% modulation on transmit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hello, hello. Now that we know that this payphone is ringing in on a ring cycle, it's dialing out, we have transmit and receive, we can go ahead and push this button on the switch box. That gives us a line out and totally takes the analyzer out of the situation. And we can call a time and temp number. We'll go ahead and give you some dial tone. And we can call that number.
Good evening. Today is Friday, October 30th. The time is 11:20. Current temperature 54 degrees. Now the weather forecast for the Belleville area.
Mostly sunny today. Then becoming mostly cloudy, highs around 60. Cloudy tonight, a chance of rain. Lows around 50. Occasional rain Saturday, highs in upper 50.
We can hang up. We can call one other number. We can call my number and it'll be busy. Go ahead and give you some dial tone. And we'll make that call. Turn off our amplifier, hang our unit up. Now that we know that this really cool automatic electric 3-slot payphone has been repaired and converted, we can return it to Bill and he can enjoy this telephone now. I'm sure it's going to look great no matter where he installs it. This is Dennis with A1 Telephone Service and Repair, A1 Electronics. You can reach us on the web at www.a1-telephone.com, and you can also reach us at 618-235-6959. Thank you for watching and have a great day.